I'm about to show you the paranormal, spiritual activity that I picked up at Port Arthur. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the very last vlog of this Tasmania trip. This is vlog number 10 of this series, and I'm so glad that we are finally here. This is my favorite vlog of all time from this whole entire series. I captured some really amazing stuff in this vlog that just made it a little extra exciting. So on this particular day, we went to Port Arthur. It was Mum's actual birthday, so the 6th of January, and we spent the whole day in Port Arthur. So if you don't know what Port Arthur is, basically it's a small town, but it is known for the historic prison that was abandoned in, just got some information here, 1877. So really old prison. It's in such good condition, like the buildings are still all there. Obviously the main prison, there's only really walls left and kind of like the outskirts of each cell. So half of the building is not really there, but a lot of the other buildings, the little houses around, is all still there. The gardens are beautiful. Like, it's honestly a really beautiful prison. I'm going to take you through the whole day, showing you what we did, what we saw. And then at the very end of this vlog, I am going to go through a section of Port Arthur where I captured paranormal activity. And I'm not even kidding. I heard it in one video to start off with, and then the more I listened, the more I went to other videos, especially in the area that I'm going to be talking about, but also throughout the whole entire day. I hope you enjoy the vlog, and I will see you towards the end of this vlog, the most exciting part of this vlog. Don't fast forward, because I want you to see like the rest of the vlog and see where we are and get more of a feel for the space before you see the paranormal activity. Church bells for Mum's birthday.
It's like a flower. It's like a gorgeous.
Was a biker by trade. When he was transferred to Port Arthur, he ran the bike house.
Smells like herbs.
get in there.
Only trust him, only trust him, only trust him now. He will save you, he will save you.
This is the punishing cell, and it's just darkness. Well, it would be darkness. Oh, don't. I don't like it, Sean.
Why?
Don't. We might not be able to get it open. Dad!
We will.
Oh my god, don't. I don't like
You
it.
didn't have that light either.
Oh my god, I don't like it at all.
I was about to mock it.
Someone spent 30 days in here.
Absolutely.
You'd go mentally crazy. Okay, we are at the end of this video where I'm about to show you the paranormal, spiritual activity that I picked up at Port Arthur. So first of all, I'm going to give you a little information about the Port Arthur massacre that happened in this area. If you don't know, in 1996, a man by the name of Martin Brandt, I don't really know how to say his last name, went in to Port Arthur, went to the section where the old cafeteria was, and he actually went in, he bought a meal, he sat down, he ate his meal, talked to some people, and then he got his gun out and shot down a lot of people. I think 35 people died and 23 or more were injured.
7 Nightly News.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to this special one-hour edition of 7 Nightly News, incorporating Today Tonight, live from Port Arthur. Later, a full bulletin of local and world news with Anne Forward. But first, no words can express the horror and disbelief in this little Tasmanian tourist centre tonight. Port Arthur has become a town of crisis, of wounded crowded into hospitals, of police desperately trying to piece the massacre together, and of families shattered by tragedy.
Less than 36 hours after the gunman went on an indiscriminate rampage, the death toll stands at 35. The worst massacre by a single civilian in world history. The killer himself is in hospital with some of his victims. He was captured, his clothes ablaze as he ran from a burning building.
The horrific massacre at the historic penal settlement began without warning.
Just gunshots.
Having murdered 32 unsuspecting local residents and tourists, the snipers stopped at a bed and breakfast lodge 5 kilometres north of the convict settlement and took 3 hostages, a couple in their 70s and a man who was earlier forced into the boot of a BMW and driven to the guest house. That car was later gutted by fire. Inside the Seascape Lodge, the man, armed with several high-powered rifles, continued firing at police, who were trying to negotiate by phone.
It was here as the gunman drove out of the park that he shot dead a mother and her 2 children, sisters aged 3 and 6.
Police came across the body of a woman and her 3-year-old daughter lying on the roadway, and the body of the 6-year-old daughter was behind the tree. It's our understanding that the mother was carrying the 3-year-old baby when they were both shot, and the 6-year-old ran away trying to escape and was shot in the process.
The children's father later arrived distraught at the police command post. By now, police and other emergency services were on their way to the scene, treating the many wounded as best they could and trying to limit the carnage.
It's horrendous, catastrophic. It's just beyond even thinking about, particularly anywhere, not let alone Tasmania.
But more blood would be spilled. At the toll gate marking the entrance to the park, bloodied blankets mark the spots where 4 men died, apparently shot for their BMW, after the gunman abandoned his yellow Volvo on the side of the road.
The tourist region will reopen to the public in the next few days. The sudden and appalling slaughter now added to the region's already dark history. At Port Arthur, Dean Allen Craig, 7 Nightly News.
I remember when we went into that area, I felt very heavy-hearted and very sad walking into that area to know that tourists, people just like me and my family, went there to have a look at Port Arthur and learn about the history and enjoy their day. Most of them were on holidays with their families, and they were just in this cafe having a break, having lunch, and a lot of them died. You can definitely feel the heartache when you walk into that area. So this is the area where I have captured some heart-wrenching paranormal activity. Now, I have listened over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and I have picked up certain things that I personally hear. You might hear something different, and if you do, let me know in the comment section below what you hear, but this is what I hear. I just want to quickly say, I recommend that you put your headphones in and put the volume up full force so you can really hear everything that I'm talking about, or put it through a loudspeaker and get close to the speaker so you can really hear everything properly. Basically, just before we get into it, I'll give you a little rundown. There is a main huge building. It is the new cafeteria area. It also has the ticketing part where you buy your tickets for Port Arthur and you book your tours and all that sort of thing. It's like the entrance part of Port Arthur. And when you go down the stairs, to the left-hand side of that is the old cafe where the massacre happened. Now, that is protected by a bunch of trees and hedges and all of that. And it's a very quiet area. It's kind of secluded from everything else. All you hear in some of my videos is birds singing and the wind. And this is very important to keep in mind because I need to stress that there was no one, and I mean no one, in this area. So when me and my family walked in, so mum, my dad, and myself were together, and we did this section before we left. It was about 5:30 in the afternoon, so a lot quieter, a lot less people around. As we're walking down, there were 2 people in there. You see them leave in my clip. They are walking out as we are walking in. So when we're in there, there is only my dad, my mum, and myself in there. So this video that you're about to see is a little plaque, I believe, of all the names of the people that have passed away. It took me a while to see it, but I see this black shadow that is standing in the door frame. Now, the shadowing does not make sense, and I'll show you why, because later on you see me from the opposite end of the building showing that section, and there is no way that shadow can be formed the way that it's formed in this section. So this is the door frame, right? I'm standing over there filming this way. I see a man come out like this, pop his head around like this, turn his head like this, and then it goes fully black. Just thought I would add that the next 2 photos you're about to see, they might be nothing. They might be just the way that the trees are formed, and it's kind of like, you know, when you look up in the sky and you see an animal in the clouds, you know, when the cloud forms different shapes and it looks like something. This might be the trees doing this. I'm not 100% sure, but I thought I would add it in here because it looks very interesting. When I zoomed in to see this dark figure in the doorway, I saw up the top this cluster of green above the building. And when I zoomed in, it literally looks like a person with wings holding an owl. So this here is what I'm looking at, just so you know for reference. So it looks like someone wearing a cloak. See, there's like the head of the cloak. Goes all the way down there. That looks like a little owl, like he's holding the owl. And these look like angel wings. I also see a face right there. Don't know if you see that. It looks like a man standing there. And then these kind of look like other things wearing cloaks behind. As I said, it's probably nothing, but I thought I would add it in here just because the pure fact that it just looks creepy. So the second photo you see, I see like this awful kind of demonic looking white weird face. And then above that, when I zoomed in, I was like, oh, I saw this like legit huge face. It has eyes looking at you, a nose and a mouth, kind of looks a little bit like a clown, like just because of the way the eyes are. But man, I mean, if this is the trees, that's some scary ass trees. This is what I'm looking at. There is the eye. It's looking that way. There is its mouth, its nose, and its head and ears. Goes around like that. This part is kind of not showing. It's kind of like a half face, but it looks like it's looking that way. Just above the face, I see this that just looks literally demonic. It looks like it's like eyes are there and it's opening up its mouth like it's some kind of like spirit thing. So the next two clips you're about to see, I actually didn't pick up any paranormal activity at all. However, take these two clips in and really listen to how quiet it is in this area. So now we're in the building where the massacre happened. There is just the outskirts of this building, no doors, no nothing, just the walls. And when I first listened to this video, I didn't think I found anything. I didn't hear anything. All I heard were birds singing and the wind blowing, but that's all I heard. However, on the probably 6th time of listening to this video with it through my speaker right up to my ear, I then heard a bunch of voices. And this will make more sense when you see the clip after this, because that's when I picked up most of the activity. And in that video after this one, you hear a bunch of voices talking over each other. Now, I want you to picture being in a really, really, really busy cafe, restaurant. Maybe you're at a party with a bunch of people. Just imagine everyone talking at once over each other. That's what it sounds like. Not so much in this video. Keep in mind, it's very faint in this video and it's at the very last few seconds. You'll hear it more in the next clip. That freaked me out because this was a very busy cafeteria, where a bunch of people would be talking over each other like that. So this is the building. Don't worry, you'll see the whole entire clip properly, but I just want to show you where the black figure was standing. Okay, see this here? This is where the black figure was standing. There's a bush back here, right? But there is no dark shadowing that you saw in that clip on this area at all. There is also no shadowing that would cause a black shadow like that in that area. Look at that, nothing. That's just not possible. And keep in mind that video where I saw the black figure was like 2 minutes before this video. clip that you're about to see, it is a cross, a wooden cross, and it has all the names of the people that passed away on this cross. Now, I want you to keep in mind, I was alone in this area, and I can't stress that enough, especially for the very last clip. I was alone. My parents had already walked out ahead of me. They were walking out of this area, and I stayed back to take a couple more shots before I left. I didn't think there was anything on this clip the first time I heard it. I hear what sounds like a man's voice say, "It's sky," or it says just sky on its own. It said my name. When I heard this, it scared the shit out of me, to the point where I threw down my speaker and I walked down the hallway going, no, 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 this can't be happening. And I had tears in my eyes. That's how scared I felt. Then after that, I hear a woman's voice, and it sounds like, can you feel or can you see the blood? Can you feel the blood? Now, mind you, these voices that I hear, they sound human but not human, if you know what I mean. They sound very monotoned. And it's not my mum, it's not my dad. First of all, they weren't in this area. Second of all, it is not their voice. Okay, I'm going to show you the very last clip from this area. And this is the clip where I picked up majority of the voices and the paranormal activity. Now, keep in mind again that I am alone when I'm in this area. There are no crowds, there are no people, just myself, the wind, the birds, and obviously something else around me. At the beginning, I hear a woman say the name Kyle or Lyle. Sounds more like Lyle, but it could be the end of Kyle. And then at first, when I first listened to this, I just heard a bunch of voices and then a woman at the very end say something very specific. Now that I've slowed it down, I have heard a lot more. In the slow motion version, I hear a man's voice say, "I'm gonna kill you." And it's like, very like, "I'm gonna kill you." Like it's very whispery and raspy kind of voice. Then another man's voice says, "How?" and really loudly. I hear the words, "It's sky," again, from a very soft woman's voice. Then I hear a voice say, "Tell the girl," or "tell her," something like that. Then I hear something else that I can't determine what it says. It's another female voice. And then a female says really, really, really loudly, so you can hear it. Like, this is the first thing I ever heard from this video, besides all the people talking over each other. A woman's voice says, "No one is safe here." Then as she's saying other things, a really loud bird sings over her voice, so you can't determine what she's saying. But when I played it on reverse, I can hear the woman say, "Martin Rate is killing me." That's what it sounds like to me. So it's not like it was like his name was already planted in my head and then I heard that and like put two and two together. I didn't know what his name was until I heard it, and then I looked it up and then saw that his name was that, which really freaked me out. So that's all the things that I hear in this video. The scariest one is obviously my name being put in there, but also when it says tell the girl and then suddenly it says no one is safe here. It is definitely clear as day that I picked up some negative energy that is still left and stuck in that area. So the next clips you're about to see, you have already seen them in the montage of the day, but these certain clips are clips where I have heard little bits and pieces that sound like paranormal spiritual activity. The first two clips are when we just arrived and we went on a tour. I was in a crowd of maybe 20, 30 people. So there was a lot of people around me. So this could be them whispering, could be them talking behind me. So I'm not 100% sure. However, it does sound a little strange.
Dormitory style accommodation, fucking get four locked. They get punished for much more severe things as well, of course. Serious things.
The next clip you're about to see is the island of death, where they have the gravesite. We're in the boat and I'm filming the island. And I see a man standing at the edge as you kind of come around the island. Now, I tried looking for video footage of the island that other people have taken. I tried looking for photos. I couldn't really see anything that could debunk this. So if you know and you can debunk it, let me know. It might be a gravestone. That's what it might be, but kind of odd to just have one gravestone on its own at the very edge of the island where like water could literally go over it. Like it seems a bit odd because all the other gravesites are on top of the island. See for yourself. I'm not 100% sure that this is anything. It's probably nothing, but I wanted to include it anyway. So let me know. Clip is just a little gravesite on its own. It was kind of near the houses, one of the main houses up on the hill, and you hear my mum reading out, I guess, what it says on the gravestone. She says Brisbane, and you hear a little voice at the very back, and it says, yeah, that's what I hear.
Brisbane. Something. Brisbane.
Next video, I am going into a house. It is the officers' quarters. And as I'm going in, there is no one behind me, I believe. My mum's already inside. She's reading something. There is somebody else inside with her. And as I'm walking down the hallway, you hear a voice, and it's not me. and it's not anyone around me, go shh. This next clip is me taking video footage of the church bells going off. You hear this very loud, like it's like a gulp. It's like a kind of noise. It's really weird. And then I swear to God, I heard someone humming the church bell song. It's definitely not me. It's kind of towards the end of the video. The next clip you're about to see, I believe is actual paranormal activity, but I could be wrong because I'm not entirely sure if anyone was standing behind me. However, number one, it sounds so close to my camera, like so close. Like, why would someone be standing right there, right next to me saying this name? It says the name Nevin. A man's voice says, Nevin, like that. At first I thought, oh, it's probably just someone behind me because I know that there was another family in that area when we were there, but now I've just realized that they're not there. At the end of this clip, you see my mum, you can kind of see her right there, walking out, and she's about to go up this hill. My dad is also out of this section. He's like somewhere like over here somewhere, having a look down the hill. That other family, so there was only two families, me, my mum, and my dad, and another family, they had already looked in this area that I'm standing in right now, and they were up here in this house already. Mum is just walking up there, and I'm about to follow her up into that house to have a look. So I am like 90% sure I was standing there alone, but even if I wasn't standing alone, why would someone be saying that so close to the camera? It's so loud.
Nevin.
The next one is, you would have seen a clip earlier where we were kind of going into the other prison part and they had like a church and you heard the voices of people singing. That was like a recording. So we're just walking into this area and you hear something go shh again. So that concludes the end of this part of the video where there is paranormal action. It has been very interesting listening to this over and over and over again and investigating each clip very thoroughly. As I've said throughout this video, let me know if you've heard anything else that I haven't heard. Let me know in the comment section below what you think it is or what you think the voices are saying. I don't know if it's just the energy that gets stuck there or it's actual people in the spirit world that get stuck somewhere when they've gone through a traumatic experience. If that is the case, I hope that they can eventually leave that area and be in peace. But it's very interesting that I picked up all of this stuff. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope that you found it interesting also. Enjoy the last few clips of this vlog, and that is the end of my Tasmania trip. I hope you enjoyed this series, and I will be coming out with the Adelaide vlogs very soon when we go on our next trip.